And next up, we will have Destany.
Hello. I'm gonna go ahead and share my screen. Oops. Okay. All right. Is everything clear? Okay, cool. All right. Hi, everyone. My name is Destany Barnett. I'm a second-year transfer student in Marshall College, majoring in global health and minoring in biology. And today I will be talking about my research with the TRELLS program. And my research project is titled Medical Mistrust and Contraceptive Beliefs Among Black Women, and Narrative Review. So my presentation today is separated into 4 parts. So I will start with describing my project overview, as well as my interest in the topic, some preliminary findings, my methods, and next steps. So to get started, I will begin by briefly talking about my focus and objective. So my research focus is to look at Black women's beliefs about birth control, and my objective is to explore the context by which historical trauma and beliefs related to Black women's reproductive health in the US influences their engagement with contraceptives, and how these factors play a role in reproductive health inequities. So my interest in this topic stems from my passion for the health of women of color and the health inequities that they face, as well as my ultimate career goal of becoming an OBGYN physician. And in addition to my interest in medicine, I feel like a lot of my global health coursework has really allowed me to dive a bit deeper into health inequities and why they occur. And specifically, I feel like I've gained an understanding about how root causes of disease and certain conditions affecting women of color may be related to structural factors and racism and even implicit bias. All of these factors not necessarily being biological, but they can still have a major impact on the health of populations. So now that I've covered my research topic, I want to discuss a few findings from my literature search so far. So since January of this year, I've been working on refining my research topic and conducting many preliminary literature searches to familiarize myself with the current literature. So this process has allowed me to really hone in on my research question, and I'll continue developing this through writing a grant proposal and subsequently a narrative review. And I'll talk about that process in a little bit. So far in my review, I've used databases like PubMed and Google Scholar, as well as library resources. And I've observed how there's gaps in the publications so far. The gaps are pretty much within 2010 to 2016. And I've also observed that there's been a transition in focus. A lot of older studies have looked primarily at the experience of Black women as it relates to their beliefs about contraceptives, but a lot of the recent research that's been done on this topic focuses on groups of women of color broadly. And pretty much I haven't identified a lot of recent literature specifically examining the experiences of Black women. And instead, these experiences are typically combined with other groups of women of color. And it's understandable because they do share a lot of experiences of mistrust and neglect by the US healthcare system. But at the same time, this process doesn't really identify the unique ways Black women have historically been mistreated and have experienced mistrust in the context of reproductive health care, and more broadly as citizens of the United States. And additionally, the disproportionate rates of reproductive health conditions and complications plaguing Black women are not biological in nature. And this brings me to a very important concept called intersectionality. So intersectionality was coined by Kimberly Crenshaw in 1989, and it's a concept that allows one to understand how multiple oppressions can intersect and compound. So this concept acknowledges how being both Black and a woman in the United States is uniquely experienced, and as well as any other identities that might intersect. So that's a really important concept in my research so far. So now I'd like to discuss my methods for this project. So this quarter, I'm auditing or sitting in a graduate level course through the San Diego State and UC San Diego joint doctoral program in interdisciplinary research on substance use. My mentor for this project, Dr. Laramie Smith, is teaching this class, and she's allowing me to take part in discussions and assignments to really understand the grant writing process. And as a graduating senior, I thought that this would be a really great opportunity for me to gain beneficial skills for my future in public health and medicine. So my preliminary literature search is really helping me to frame the public health relevance for my grant proposal. And then while that's informing my grant proposal, I'm going to use this grant proposal to further develop my narrative review. And since I've applied to the TRELS program for the summer, I plan to use this narrative review as a continuation of my project. So this grant proposal will be my deliverable for the spring quarter. And then if I am accepted into the summer program, I'll be writing the narrative review as a continuation. So those are my methods, and I just want to close with my grant writing schedule for the rest of this quarter. So this is a timeline for the grant writing class, and the class consists of like discussions, sample grant reviews from Laramie's previous grants, as well as benchmarks for our grant proposals. And my goal is to complete my grant proposal by week 10. And lastly, I'm really excited about this project. It's fun to just dig a little deeper into something that I've always had an interest in. I feel like I've learned a lot already, and I'm looking forward to strengthening my research and writing skills for the rest of this quarter. Thank you.